Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast. Season 10, episode 3, season's delivering. I have no notes. I have notes. I
I
have
was
no
gonna
notes for the
say,
season.
this is epic.
This
It's
is
really
it.
interesting, the dynamics between the two shows we're watching.
Where usually it's flipped.
Yes, I am glued to my seat. It is hard to take notes because I'm like jaw on the ground.
I am laughing. I am pausing. I am rewinding. I am getting quotes. I am
Yes.
obsessed. I am
Each person is
I'm
truly
obsessed.
delivering something for me.
We don't have one bad cast member.
It's hard. Like I'm picking my blocks based on like my personal dislike for people, not because people are not showing up.
Yes. This is amazing. This show amazing.
I needed this.
Check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, which is also live. A little lackluster. It hasn't been delivering quite like this, which is wild.
But we will bring the fun to it. We promise.
Will keep recapping. We will probably just shit on everyone. Truly. And then also we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. I am almost 99% sure we did not get anything, and I am right.
You know what? I kind of forgot that people can review our podcast. So someone spark joy for me, please.
With a 5-star review. Thank you so much. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about whatever we want. Today, we went back to something we love. We love cults. We talked about a cult. We love a good cult.
Yeah, that was like 40 minutes on cults.
It was. And also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. This one will drop on the Patreon first, and then it will be live. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after shows that we do when we go back and we watch old seasons, which is not this, but we have tons of old after shows. If you want to listen, we'll usually go on a tangent or talk about whatever. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dustin, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Kelsey, Kimberly, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Courtney, Gina, Jennifer, Kirsten, Mariah, Ruby, and Taylor.
Yeah.
My God, I'm so obsessed with. If you only listen to the Vanderpump podcast, can you believe how many patrons we have?
Yeah, this is the long-standing, the OG podcast is Vanderpump.
Yeah, we started this a long time ago, and we are never going to end this, it seems like, because we have a lot of seasons to still go through in the back, and
those have like a million
saving
episodes.
The show. This season saving the show. We're basically going to get at least 5 more seasons.
People preseason, like some of the cast members did say it sets it up for a season 11. So
we have a season 11. We have to just still do season 5, rolling. 6, 7. Like we have lots to do. We're very excited. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live seasons, now we're living
this is our Super Bowl.
This is for real. We will post every week a Summer House and a Vanderpump post, and we will read your episodes live on the podcast. We will discuss them. We will do a before and an after. It's called Patreon or
Podcast by the People.
Podcast by the People.
It's new. Don't worry. We'll get it down.
Podcast by the People. We're going to read your thoughts. It's amazing. Everyone join. Even if it's just for the live seasons, we totally understand. Also, we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week, we're going to pick our OG Jackie. We miss her so much. She has been going through some, life. So she's been a little busy and hasn't been able to keep up, and we totally understand. But we just wanted to let her know that we're thinking of her and we miss her a lot. Yeah, and we cannot wait until she is back with us, and we hope our podcast brings her a little light right now when she needs it the most.
Yes, that's all we want. This is just a community, and so
yes,
this one's here to Jackie.
We love you, Jackie. Thanks for being a part still. Okay, let's jump into it though. For Jackie, let's just jump right in.
For Jackie.
Okay, so previously on Vanderpump Rules, Schwartz and Sandy's hosted the Daily Mail party. They're getting ready to open the restaurant. We found out Lala and James hooked up. when they were dating Raquel and Randall. Raquel's making a clean break from James, and that means James isn't allowed to see Graham. Schwartz is frustrated with Sandoval about his band taking time away from the restaurant, and Tom and Katie talked at the restaurant at the Daily Mail party, and Katie hopes the restaurant is worth it.
Oh, wait, you know what you didn't do?
What?
Read the podcast by the people.
Oh my
from
God.
last episode.
Oh, you're right. I literally just talked about it and I'm an idiot. Okay.
That's okay.
Well, I gave you the recap. That's what happened. Now we're going to read podcast by the people.
From the recap.
Okay, so Chrissy said, I really hope Allie ends up being a total ball buster to James and doesn't let him get away with anything. Like super sweet and quiet on the outside, and Dome went alone. Yeah.
You know what?
Same.
I hope that too.
I don't think it's true, but I hope so.
And maybe, you know what, like Raquel's conversation with her last week was not like terribly bad. That maybe just Raquel being like, stick up for yourself and like saying that kind of mildly, like instills some fire in Allie. Maybe.
Okay, Tracy said, okay, hi, haven't watched the new episode yet, but I wanted to share some thoughts on Schwartz and Sandy's. It makes me really sad to think about because it doesn't feel like it's going to last very long. Tom is going to last for years after the show ends because it can stand on its own. Schwartz and Sandy's gives me the vibe of something that will fade fast. The decor they used is awesome and looks great, but it doesn't look like it would last long. I think I saw some zebra booth and that's not going to survive against a glass of red wine. I just feel like in 5 years, this place will be gross, stained, and dusty, and Sandoval will survive, but Schwartz might legit be homeless. They went in the wrong direction. They should have been party planners where they need the same eye, but it only needs to be temporary.
They need it like a pop-up bar, people.
Party planners is a good idea.
Yeah, but I think that a party that has a harsh deadline. Like, I don't know if they'd be good with the deadlines.
Maybe, but I feel like it would have been better than this. Yeah. I do get what you are saying where you're like, I don't know if like this restaurant's gonna make it.
Here's the thing though, that comes with experience. Like Lisa has the experience to know what will stand the test of time. And so maybe this one will fail, but maybe the Toms will move on. And
restaurants, this is very common for a lot of restaurants in really big cities like LA and New York. Some restaurants just don't make it and you have to keep changing. There's a chance like they sell the restaurant, it changes, and they open up like a brand new restaurant. I do think the show will go on for a few years.
So that'll help.
I think they can also redesign, and
well, that'll take him into 2030.
I know. It's a possibility. I don't know. I think it's not going to go great, but I think it'll last. I'm excited to see how long.
I'll give it 2 years after Vanderpump ends.
Okay, we'll see. Sarah said, I don't know about time zones in America, but here in Australia, Thursday night is Vanderpump Rules night. I'm currently on school camp as a teacher, of course, but I won't be able to watch it until at least tonight, which is Friday. Anyways, if I don't watch it before you guys record, then I just want to say, hey, hi, love you guys. Thanks, Sarah. No worries. We watched late. I don't think I watched till Friday in American time.
I watched it right before we recorded this on Saturday, American time.
Amazing. So we're late too. No worries if you're late. We understand. Okay. And Tiffany sent us a message and said, hey girls, so I saw a clip of the first 7 minutes of the 3rd episode. Not sure why they started doing that every week, but I do like it. Oh, Tiffany, I don't watch them.
I have no self-control, so I have to watch them. It does get me a little excited, but I just want better teasers.
I don't need the first 7 minutes. It's unnecessary to me.
I don't like rewatching the first 7 minutes again.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what bothers me.
So she says Schwartz showed his apartment to Scheana, which we'll get to, and says he has a roommate, Joe. I wanted to fill you in on the info I know about her from the Holly and Sarah on VPR Party podcast. Ooh, Holly and Sarah. Everyone listen to that podcast too. We'll plug them for free. They thought he was dating her because she was always around, but he said no. And Scheana even said there was no way. I've seen some videos of her from concerts, and she's something else. She seems like she's in her own little world, and maybe something she takes does that. But it would be good if they are just friends because it's one of Kristen's friends also.
I've been hearing about Tom's
Mm,
quote unquote new girlfriend recently being was Kristen's friend.
was Kristen's friend, like, isn't anymore. And
Yeah.
honestly, I immediately thought of Rachel, even though I know
Oh
she's not going
God.
to date Tom Schwartz. So Joe was friends with Kristen.
Interesting if it did
Okay.
come back around. Like this was filmed in the summer, and I heard Tom Schwartz got together with someone in the fall. So it'd actually be hilarious if this girl is his now girlfriend after him being like, never.
Yeah, crazy. She does also say that she'd want to do a like a mini
Oh, the mid-season.
podcast, the mid-season podcast. Anne says she went to Sandoval's concert last October and got to meet him.
Fine.
He was the only one there. Yeah, yeah. If it wasn't in LA, no one else is probably gonna go. But how was meeting
Yeah.
Tom Sandoval? That's
Yeah, I want to
crazy.
hear more. Let's see if you have a photo. Post that, baby.
That's fun. She also said she would join us in LA and dance all night. We gotta
Hell
figure out when
yeah.
to go though,
A
Tiffany.
group LA trip.
Group
That would
LA
be
trip, a
baller.
patron LA trip. That'd be so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you all. Let's get back to the episode, shall we?
Let's kick it off.
Okay, so we open up at James and Allie's apartment. They're making coffee with chocolate syrup and whipped cream. Fun.
This ain't my type of coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
Dead.
Tom and Ariana's apartment. Charlotte the dog pooped in the house. And then we go to Sir. Lisa enters. Peter's working. We have our Peter sighting, the one of the episode. Peter doesn't remember a lot from the Daily Mail party last night. And that's because the editor showed us that after Raquel dumped him, he stood in that same spot and drank at the bar alone and sad.
No wonder they had so much footage of him at that bar.
That is so funny. Lisa thinks his pride is hurt, but he won't admit it. And Lisa's like, I get it. I've never been dumped either.
Lisa's epic. I love how she roasts them.
She's so great. So Raquel's here. She's running late. Lisa caught her. She's like, hey, aren't you late? And Raquel, of course, is like, yeah, oh my God, I had, it's because of Graham. I had to take him to the emergency vet because he had a puncture wound on his neck and it got infected.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I know he was sick last episode, but this is not what I was thinking.
This is like when you go and you're like, hey man, and you're about to call someone else and they're like, my grandma died and then my dog got hit by a car and then I fainted and had to go to the hospital, and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
you're like, I guess I can't be mad at you anymore.
My bad. Okay, but yeah. So Lisa then talks to Raquel and is like, hey, I heard about Peter. That can't happen. You know better. And Raquel's like, wait, so I can't make out with Peter in front of the customers? And Lisa's like, are you goddamn fucking kidding me? And then Raquel's like, just kidding.
Died laughing. This is where I was like, this is the most personality I've ever seen out of Raquel.
Same.
Like epic.
Literally. Okay, but Raquel says she did end things with them. Lisa says she knows Raquel has lost some direction since the engagement. And Raquel's like, yeah, I was in love with James. And she also feels like he threw that away so easily because now he's dating Allie and that's like the new love of his life. And she does still love and care about James. And then she starts to tear up and it's really sad. And then she starts to cry. And then she like starts hyperventilating crying, which makes Lisa cry.
This
and
is so sad. You can tell like it was real on Raquel's side. Like she really did love him.
She did, and I think she's hurt that now he's like negating their
this has happened to me. I mean, obviously I wasn't engaged and like with someone for like that long, but this has happened to me where somebody else moved on so quick, and it made me question like, oh, was it real? Was any of it real then?
Was any of it real? And you're just kind of like, I guess not.
You're just like, what the fuck is this?
This is even worse. That was 5 years.
And an engagement
ring, and in 6 months he's like with someone else.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right, 2 weeks. Which does also show kind of that narcissism TikTok I was like talking about.
Yeah.
Crazy. But then they go back to work. And then we cut over to Ariana and Katie meeting up with Jamie the retailer or realtor, which is also Scheana's friend. And they're looking at a place for the sandwich shop.
I can't wait to taste this. We are not going to LA until this sandwich shop is open.
No, the sandwich shop has to be open.
Get off
the
plane.
All of it.
I'm going straight
sandwich. Here. They learned a lot from Tom and Tom. They know not to just jump into anything without preparing ahead of time, and also look for investors. Don't use your own fucking money.
I feel like this is information you can find off Google, but I'm dead. Like, this is hilarious.
I'm so excited
that they're like, I want to learn from their epic failure of a restaurant.
Yeah. Well, they're still looking for investors. But they do like this sandwich shop place. They want to just check out a few more things.
Do some due diligence.
Katie reminds us, because we did know this, that she's been working in a restaurant since 1999. Her mom owns a restaurant in Utah, and then obviously she moved to LA and became a server.
I love them flashing her experience, because I feel like she kind of got shafted last season.
Tom told she doesn't know anything.
Like,
well, Tom Sandoval was the one that was very much like, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does.
She especially something. The part she wanted to be a part of, which was the like operations. She knows the operations.
Yeah, she can do that. That's easy. Also, the sandwich shop is going to be like a cantina. They're going to serve drinks.
Give me a cocktail and a sandwich, and I'm moving in.
Yeah. But good thing Katie didn't do this with Schwartz, or else that would have been super awkward. And then Ariana's like, hey, I saw you talking to Tom last night. You good? And Katie tells Ariana about the awkward talk they had with the was it worth it comment. And Ariana's like, ooh, goodbye.
Yikes.
So then, speaking of Tom Schwartz, we cut to his apartment that's full of boxes.
It's a disaster.
It has the Bubba paintings.
Oh, I missed that. He still has those. They should have like destroyed it together in like a fun destruction room.
For sure. I totally would have done that. There's an empty fridge. It's basically like he's living in college.
Yeah, I love it that he pulls out some OJ and says he hasn't drank this in forever and he doesn't even like it.
He also doesn't look at the expiration date. That might be why he doesn't like it.
Well, he said he'd rather have a beer, and I get that.
Okay, so Lala texts Schwartz and Sandoval in a group chat.
That was nice. That was really big of her.
She congratulates them on the party. That's very nice. And then Scheana's here. Schwartz is very embarrassed about his place, but never forget Scheana went through a divorce, so she knows what it's like to be a little out of touch. Yeah. Schwartz is feeling hungover, so he's pissed off. He has to do this podcast, and we know that feeling.
Yes,
we don't want to do this.
This was poor planning. I didn't know when Scheana asked Schwartz to do the podcast. Literally last night. Yeah.
Okay, Schwartz says he has a friend Joe staying with him. This is the Joe that we might be speculating is his now girlfriend.
Yeah.
But at this time he has not hooked up with Joe, and Scheana's like totally believe him because this apartment is trash and he's not getting any pussy.
Would you ever hook up a boy with the apartment this messy?
If I was hammered, sure, but
yeah, if it was like a one night, one and done, I could move past this. But I could never stay with someone like this.
If it's a date and you're like, come back to my apartment, and I'm like, okay, and I'm still like trying to be cute. If I walk in and see this, I'd be like, you have a dead body.
And the thing is, it's not even the boxes. Like, I could understand if you're like, oh, I'm moving in, like, sorry, there's a few boxes. It's not like everything else is a mess.
Yeah, like everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the podcast. Scheana does her shenanigans intro. And then she's with one of our best friends, Mr. Tom Schwartz. And they start out with a fun game of fuck, marry, kill. And so the three are Lisa, Vanderpump, Lala, and Raquel. Meredith, I would like you to play fuck, marry, kill with these three. I want to see if we have the same ones.
Okay. I think I would fuck Lisa just because I know she's taken, like, I could never marry her. Okay. I would marry Lala. I think I would have a really great time, and I think I would kill Raquel.
I would fuck Lala, marry Lisa, kill Raquel.
Easy. I'm basically on the same page as you. I just don't think I could ever get Lisa.
I think if she's an option, I get her. Okay, so Schwartz decides to marry Raquel, bang Lisa, and kill Lala.
I'm curious
Which
if he did this at a different point. If him and Lala weren't beefing, would
that's what
anything
I
be
thought.
different?
I was like, you're just killing Lala because you're
It's easy.
beefing, and
Yeah.
she's gonna be pissed. But like, whatever.
Well, you can blame it on the beef, you know?
I guess.
I was kind of
But
shocked
like,
he didn't like marry Lisa and fuck Raquel.
he said something like, "I'm gonna marry Raquel. She's so sweet. I'm obviously gonna bang Lisa, and I guess I'll kill Lala." Like something
Yeah.
like that. Okay, we talk about the Daily Mail party. Um, Scheana asks if the restaurant led to the divorce. Tom Schwartz says it's too soon to address all that, but he can't blame the divorce on the bar, which I think was a great answer.
I
And
agree.
honestly, as a podcaster, I'm not mad at Scheana yet because I've always said if we have like one of these people on our
You
podcast,
got to
I'm
ask
gonna
the
I'm gonna
questions.
come with a hard hitting question, even if they dodge me and
And
get pissed.
later in the episode, we hear it's been 5 months since the divorce, at least conversation.
Yes,
So this isn't like
it's
1 month
known.
after. There's
It
been
is
some time.
known. The
Yes.
public knows. And I, like I said, like this was a big topic from last season, right? Like, so did this bar cause your divorce? We're all wondering it.
Yeah.
This question's not bad yet. Okay, but the separation between Tom and Katie overall as well, we're fine.
Yes.
Then Sheena's like, let's go back to Raquel. Rumor is that
Schwartz said, let's go back to Raquel.
Oh, did he?
Yes. And I was shocked. I was like,
Okay.
why do we need to talk
Maybe
about
you're
Raquel?
right. Yeah, like okay, so fuck Schwartz for bringing that up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Scheana goes, there's a rumor that you and Raquel made out at Coachella, and Tom Schwartz is like, yeah, I wasn't even at Coachella, and they laugh about the rumor. Again, I don't think that's
Totally
bad.
fine.
I still think Sheena's like, that was a funny rumor. But then Scheana goes, would you make the rumor true?
I was like, what is going on here?
And Schwartz was like, yes, sure, whatever. He was like, sure, why not? That's the part that was bad because Sheena's saying something like, do you want the rumor to be true? I would probably fucking say that too, given I'm not friends with Schwartz, Katie, Scheana.
Here's the problem I have overall. And like I think it's probably best to talk about now because this is the entire episode basically, is Sheena's trying to get Tom to hook up with one of the group friends, not just hook up with someone.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like I think it's not a problem if Sheena's just trying to get like Tom laid or get him a girlfriend. I think the problem lies that it's in the friend group.
It's in the group.
And you're stirring shit up in the friend group. And that's where I'm annoyed with Scheana. And like it's not the same as Katie going and like going on a date.
I totally agree. I think the problem is the friend group.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think the worst part about this is Tom Schwartz being like, because he's the one that had the conversation with Katie saying not in the friend group.
Yeah.
Whereas Scheana like might not know all of that.
That's true.
I think it's sure. If
she's
I'm
being
thinking
shady.
like Scheana, that's pretty shitty. It'd be like if someone was like, Shay, hook up with someone in the friend group after your divorce. Like that is shitty. Yes. But I think again, we're all not blaming Tom Schwartz.
That's true.
He's the one held responsible for his relationship with Katie. And
it's like we are only focusing on Scheana being a bad friend to Katie, not Tom being a bad friend to Katie too.
And like again, I'm big justice for Scheana. I understand that. But if I'm looking at it as a viewer, right? Katie and Scheana have had a lot of ups and downs. Yes. I don't even know if they like each other. So
I don't think they're real friends. I said this in the DMs with people.
Scheana's saying something like, do you want to make it true? Haha. Schwartz should have said, Scheana, like Raquel's beautiful and all that, but I wouldn't feel comfortable hooking up with someone in mine and Katie's friend group.
Yes.
And that's where I don't think that's
true. He's like perpetuating this and like giving Scheana runway to keep this going.
Yes. I think then Katie would have said like, way to go on that answer. Yeah, that question sucked, but I don't think she would have been mad.
I think she still would have been like, Scheana, this is shitty, be a better friend to me, but it wouldn't be as big as it is.
No, I think she would have just like rolled her eyes and been like, whatever, Scheana, screw you for a moment. I don't think it would have been a screaming match. I don't think she would have like ignored Scheana. Any of it.
That's true.
I will.
Schwartz is playing into it
to put the blame where it should go. Okay, so then we're at Sir. Raquel's working. of course, James and Allie show up for goat cheese balls.
I love, this is how a show is produced, by the way.
Why?
This is like,
yeah.
They're
Why
like, get
would
in
they
there.
go here to pick up James's check? It's 2022. We're not doing direct deposit yet.
Why do you want a fucking check?
Wild. So Lisa sees James and Allie and is like, what we're all thinking, what are you doing here? Scheana did not get the producer's note. She deleted that email. So they talk about how last night was good. And then Lisa's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about Graham. And immediately I'm like, Lisa, you messy bitch.
I know, but I love how James goes, I know, I'm so sad.
James is like, yeah, I know, I'm so sad.
I don't get to see him anymore.
Like, oh my God. And Lisa's like, yeah, I know, it's just like so sad he hasn't been well. And James is like, wait, what are you talking about? I thought it was sad that like I haven't hung out with him in a while. What this was incredible. And Lisa's like, oh, I thought you would have known. And James is like, absolutely not. I'm going to talk to Raquel about this. No one worry.
They're like, Raquel, thanks for working today. Can you get right over here?
And he's literally like, I am very upset. Like he's visibly distraught. Yeah. So then Raquel walks on by because the producer called her into the corner. And James is like, excuse me, what happened to Graham? And Raquel's like, oh, and looks at Lisa. And I think this was good on Raquel. She's like, I would have rather James not known. Like calling Lisa, like
telling her,
can you stop talking to my ex about shit we talk about?
This is setting a boundary with Lisa. Don't talk about me to my ex.
Yes. And then James in his interview was like, again, distraught. He was Graham's dad for 5 years, which I get.
Him like talking about this made me sad for him.
I was sad for him. There was something so weirdly enjoyable about James. He is not a real person.
He literally compartmentalizes his emotions so well that like, he's the actor to me. I'm like, you're sad. I'm sad with you. You're fucking like screaming at someone. I'm in with you. He takes you on a roller coaster of emotions, and I love it.
Is he manipulating us? I like don't know.
I don't think so. I think he's actually. He's making me feel his emotions. I think he's actually sad.
I told Meredith after this, I have always loved James. I watched this episode and I was straight up like, James is my favorite character. He is so funny. Also, just in episode 1, that go.
I sent that to Alicia on TikTok.
Who the hell does that? It is he is so goddamn funny. And this is one of them where I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad for him. And I'm like, wait, I was just on Raquel's side setting boundaries. And now I'm like, how dare Raquel do that to this man?
My God. I want to do, in our mid-season podcast episode, I want to do an Abby Lee Miller pyramid of the favorite people from both shows.
Oh, I love that. Okay, we will.
Start thinking about it, everybody.
Okay, so James misses Graham more than he misses Raquel, which is so rude. Do you see he's so rude, but it's so funny. Like
I believe him.
It was hilarious. This line, he's so funny.
Also, remember 5 minutes ago, Raquel was crying about James because she loves him. And here's James being like, I love graham cracker.
Fuck Raquel. Who? So then Raquel and James go talk, and Raquel tells James what happened, and he is so upset. He starts crying. He's like distraught.
He's like, oh my God, Graham missed you so much. He was trying to run through a fence to find you.
And Raquel's like, I know he's okay now. And James is like, yeah, but you're just laying this on me. Like, I need to process. And he's like, please let me see Graham. I miss him so much. And Raquel's like, I'll think about it.
He like brokers a visitation.
He's so upset. And then in his interview, he's like, I'm not going to say the D or the S word, but you should let me see Graham. And the producer's like, what words? Where are those words? And he goes, dumb. And stupid. And I'm laughing. Why am I laughing? He is so rude. It is so funny.
Not even a good comeback, but James saying, I'm not even going to say the D and the S word.
Dumb and stupid. It's literally like,
you know what?
Not a real person.
He's like a toddler. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm not going to say the D word.
It's so funny. But yeah, so James just is like, Raquel, I need to process this. And he walks off and cries. And I'm sure if I'm Allie and this grown ass man, I get you loved this dog for 5 years. I totally get that. But this man walks back sobbing about his ex-girlfriend's dog. I'm gonna be like, should we just get a dog? Like, why don't you go get a dog?
I bet Allie fell in love with him more.
I agree. I would just be like, listen, I get you can't replace dogs, but like, why don't you go get a dog
to like fill this void?
Fill a void, and then maybe you and Raquel and like all the other Vanderpump dogs can have like a play date all together, and you can see Graham.
I think also Raquel should have told James, because they're in the same friend group. Just like, hey, by the way, Graham like had a little issue, but he's fine.
I don't, but you know what I would do if I was Raquel? Even if James and I broke up, instead of paying for Graham to go to a kennel, I would be like, James, can you watch Graham for the weekend?
Yeah.
Because I know James would know how to take care of Graham, and that would help me out and save me money, and also like make him happy. And maybe
I don't think she needs to ask his permission, let him see him, but just like as a friend would share with a friend, like, oh, hey, my dog was sick.
Listen, I don't want this to be awkward, but like, can you watch Graham? And then they can easily, when they see each other, the one topic they can talk about is like, how's Graham doing?
Yeah.
And, oh, he got like this infection,
but he's good now.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Next time I'm like going out for a night and you're home, I'll drop Graham off and you can watch him for the night.
Exactly.
Like something easy, you know? So it doesn't like affect your life that much.
Exactly. So you don't have to do this.
Yeah. So we head to Schwartz and Sandy's. Schwartz is meeting the general manager. He's also here to water the plants. He's going to meet Sandoval. They're worried about getting this opened in a month. Okay, they're sure the party went well, but now people are saying that Schwartz and Sandy's are open when it's actually not.
I thought it was.
I thought it was. So they keep pushing it back, and now the hype is growing, and they still have to finalize menus and staffing. And I guess Matt fell short as a bartender. He was one of those guys we hired, and he was drinking behind the bar, and Greg basically doesn't want him here. But Schwartz, who has a soft spot for bad bartenders, he wants to give Matt another chance, and the Toms get final say. So they're obviously not going to do what Greg wants.
Well, this proves that they at least have collectively 51%.
Yeah,
they have say.
Yes. So like Greg's screwed basically.
Poor Greg.
And then my favorite part, when people walk in and are like, hey, is it open? Like, are you open? And they're like, no, we're not. And like the three of them all stand up, right? And they're like, no, we're not open and we're sorry. And then Schwartz goes, hey, what's up? I'm Tom Schwartz. And like introduces himself to Wes and Sam.
Why wasn't I in LA wandering around trying to get into Schwartz
wild. And then Sandoval's like, hey, what's up? I'm Tom Sandoval. And then Schwartz goes, do you want a tour? And I'm like, we're just gonna.
These random people who just wanted to stop by for a drink.
They just wanted some goat cheese balls. And they can't get.
I saw on Twitter people were like, oh, this couple probably planned their entire LA trip around coming to see Schwartz and Sandy's open. And here it is, still not open.
But they met the Toms. It's almost better.
Honestly, can you imagine?
And then you're on Vanderpump Rules. This was a win.
Sign that waiver.
A win is a win. A win is a win. Okay, so then we go to Tipsy Cow Wine Bar, where Lala, Katie, and Raquel are meeting up for a drink, because I didn't think Lala liked Raquel. Maybe that's just the now time, but I don't know.
When everybody is going through breakups, we gotta bound together, you know?
I know, the friendships change.
This is what I thought would be the season, is these three, like, let's get after it together before we found anything out.
I really love that Katie and Raquel are gonna get a little buzzed.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so Lala is like, there's something really sweet about like us leaving our old lives behind and starting over.
All the possibilities.
We don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
Here's to being single, and then Lala and Raquel to dodging bullets, which I think Katie dodged she hit the bullet, but like also finally dodged it.
The bullet grazed her.
Katie got the bullet out of her arm finally. Yeah, the surgery was a success. Okay, Lala says Raquel felt really vacant when she was with James, but now Lala's starting to see Raquel come into her own, which we're all agreeing. I also
think her age has something to do with this, though.
Yeah, she was like 23 and scared.
Yeah.
Because when she entered, you had Stassi and Kristen still.
I'm terrified.
That's wild to me.
That's true. The circumstances Raquel was under.
And Lala.
How did she make it all these years?
Kristen and Lala, who like hated your boyfriend.
Oh my God, I
And you
forgot.
were
I
just
can't wait to
trying
go back and do it
live
all.
as a 23-year-old. You had just graduated college. You are a beauty pageant girl.
Who did it because she was scared of like public speaking. Like
just trying, and now you're on a reality TV, right? You're dating a dude and reality TV show.
Jesus
Wild.
Christ.
Okay. Lala and Randall, we find out, only communicate through an app that their lawyers told them to use. Fun. Katie saw Tom today when they were handing over the dogs, and she heard that he's doing Scheana's podcast. And
he had just done the podcast.
Yeah. You're right. Yes. So Tom tells Katie that Scheana really wanted to talk about the divorce. Respectfully, of course.
Yes.
Which is like not, I guess.
That's not groundbreaking.
That's fine. It just happened. And then tells Katie that Scheana wants Schwartz to hook up with Raquel. And she pushes like Raquel onto Schwartz too. And then Katie's like, wait, what the fuck is this betrayal?
I just realized us talking about this. Like, how dirty of Schwartz to like throw Scheana under the bus here.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, Scheana and I talked. Scheana's really trying to get me to hook up with Raquel.
Because at this point, right? In my mind, she's not. She's just being a little shady. Yeah, asking just, like, oh,
we have this rumor. Let's play in the rumor.
Yeah, let's play what if.
Yeah. Again, this is Schwartz being like, can you believe it made me feel uncomfortable? Fuck you, man. You played it right into it.
You were the one who asked to talk about Raquel. Yeah.
So then, of course, Raquel is like, yeah, she pushes me onto Schwartz too. Like, it's fine. And then this is where Katie's like, betrayal.
This is where
bridesmaid. This
Katie's
was
pissed.
This was.
If everybody told me this, like Katie right now is pretty rightfully pissed hearing it from both sides, being like, God, Scheana keeps pushing us together. We don't want this, is what they keep being told.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. I get why Katie's pissed because Raquel has confirmed it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, I don't love that.
I can see how Katie wants a confrontation.
Yeah, I don't love that you're looking at my face and telling me this.
Mm-hmm.
So then Raquel is like, no, she says, she always says like, no, but she has thought about it. And she tells them that she wouldn't date Schwartz, like seriously. And I'm like, what? Why would you think about this and admit that to his ex-wife
who was telling you she's upset about this?
Yeah. And then 2, why would you tell his ex-wife of 5 years and dating for 12? I'd never date him seriously, but like, no,
but I would bang him.
She dated him seriously. So you're insulting the man she chose, but then also you're thinking about hooking up with him.
And you're telling, I cannot believe she said this to her face.
Friends, Raquel.
We are right now out at drinks as fuck these men. And you're like, oh yeah, yours sounds pretty nice for a minute.
Let's think about this for a second. Why would you do that? Even if you do think about it, you shut your goddamn mouth. This is so rude. Just shut up.
Like,
this was the I'm not gonna say the D or the S word, but this thought not good.
The hookup was kind of like a drunken accident. This is like becoming more like intentional every episode. And I see how Katie is responding to these things on social media. Slowly, I'm like, yep, this makes more and more sense.
Yep. I'm pissed.
I would be Katie.
Right now.
I would be Katie.
I would be Lala. I'd be like, hold up. If you and Schwartz hook up, Raquel, I'm about to drag bodies into the ground.
Yes.
Boom. And Katie's like, well, I mean, like, I wouldn't be happy. And Lala's like, no, say you're going to be pissed because I know you're going to be pissed because I'm pissed.
I think Katie's
we're pissed.
Trying to be nice with the comments when she's like at this stage, she's trying to be nice, being like, this kind of upsets me. She's trying not to put boundaries around Schwartz, but she's trying to be like, can you guys decide not to do this?
Trying to still be like, okay, it's like a hypothetical. So like I can't be mad at a hypothetical, but I don't love it. You know, like he
She wants them to say no rather than for her to have to say, don't do this.
Yeah. Whereas Lala's like, I'm about to murder some people.
Yeah, stop even having these thoughts, says Lala.
Yeah, so Katie's just like, I'm not ready to see that or be there. Like, and Raquel seems like, yeah, nothing's happened yet. So like, no worries. Which she said yet. And I was like,
that's the thing. Her words are acting like this is gonna happen.
She's like, calm down, Katie. I got this.
Not yet.
What? Okay, then Raquel said if she entertained it, it wouldn't be fucking, and she doesn't want a relationship.
I don't need, stop telling me that what you're good with and not good with when Katie's not good with any of it.
Why doesn't Raquel just say, instead of saying like, Katie, it's not going to happen because I wouldn't just fuck Schwartz, and right now I don't want a relationship, and also I don't want to seriously date him, so we'd have to have like a fling.
Why doesn't she just say, no, it hasn't happened, don't worry about it,
it hasn't happened, you have nothing to worry about, I won't cross that line?
Well, she can't say that because, as we know,
there is
Katie has something to worry about.
Okay, so Raquel also says she was loyal to James, which I don't know why this has to do anything, but whatever. She was loyal to James, and she keeps hearing that he was with other girls. And Lala's like, yeah, so let me tell you. And I was like, I give props for Lala saying this, but man, did I understand why Raquel's pissed. So Lala's like, yeah, so me and James did hook up when you were new with him and I was new with Randall. Like, whoops. And Raquel's like rightfully pissed.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Because now she's like, you're judging me for a hypothetical that I'm not even pushing. Meanwhile, you actually did. You knew I was dating James and you fucked him.
Yes.
And you just threatened to kill me over maybe making out with Schwartz.
Yes. The only difference I will give Lala is Lala said, we were both very drunk. That was drunk me. I would never do that now. And I believe that.
This is one of those things, though, that it's new information to Raquel, so it like just happened.
Yes. Lala tries to like brush it off though and be like, really, it's not that big of a deal. When it is to Raquel.
Lala says, is this going to change things? And I was like, yeah, a little bit, because you blatantly disregarded my relationship and now everything's been a lie and I'm sad. Yeah. So Raquel's just like, it's more like, she goes like, it's hurtful, but it's like more hurtful that he fell in love with Allie. So like, I don't really know what to do right now.
Raquel's in such a weird spot. I kind of see how she just spirals.
Yeah, Raquel's like super dumb in this scene, but also by the end, I feel really bad for her.
She's a mess, and I feel like I was there 2 years ago, so I feel for her much. But I still don't want her to make out with Schwartz.
She's gonna hit a breaking point, and I'm not excited.
Dude, we know she's gonna hit a breaking point.
I know. So we go to the music studio. We got Tom Sandoval and the most extras. And Meredith, do you know immediately what I thought of? Do you know what went through my mind?
No.
It was the scene where Tom Sandoval goes in with James and does his stupid trumpet playing.
Oh my!
And it was so bad. And there was a trumpet in Tom Sandoval and the most extras. So,
but like a real trumpet,
a real trumpet player. So last year, Schwartz and Sandy's hit a lull, and Sandoval needed a creative outlet, just like this. And then James walks in, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's like the trumpet scene."
I love this friendship. I was like,
I do too.
We haven't gotten it yet this season. Like, here we go.
I know. And then we find out James is going to open up for Tom at a show.
Why wasn't I at this? Like,
that's so exciting.
Oh,
two very different vibes, but I'm very excited for it.
Two people I would love to see in person.
Yeah. So James tells us in his interview, like, this is just Sandoval's way of spending a lot of money and having a lot of fun. For example,
wait, do you remember when he paid for his music video and Jax just reamed him for it?
Yes, but that was like a fun. Let's touch in public. Yeah, I remember. Okay, Tom pays for the band member practices, the practicing space, the golden plated congas, transportation, food, and even Sandoval's like, this is an expensive hobby.
Jeez.
So we find out they're playing the Canyon Club, which is very special to James because it's the first time he laid eyes on his princess, Allie, the most magical night of his life.
If somebody called me or like said this sentence about me, actually, it'll never happen. Nobody could ever define me as their princess.
Princess?
No.
Let's be clear. I'm a queen. Let us be clear about that.
I'm not a queen consort either. I am the queen.
Yeah. I am. That's a good one. I am the queen.
I am the queen.
Let's start there. And you're not going to like be like, oh, my little queen.
No.
It is queen.
Trust me, the day you meet me, it'll not be a happy memory.
It's not going to be yeah. I'm probably punching you.
I will roast you endlessly.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this is the most magical night of his life. I cannot believe that's great. Okay, so then we go to Raquel's apartment. Scheana's here. Just as Raquel's coming down to go on a walk with Graham. So
but not just any walk, a hot girl walk from TikTok.
Yes, Scheana just learned what a hot girl walk is. I thought a hot girl walk was just a way to say like we're going on a mental health walk almost.
Yeah,
like I'm just going on a happy
that's what my
walk.
Friends do. They just go on a walk and call it a hot girl walk.
Yeah, every walk I go on, I'm like, do my hot girl walk.
But it has to be outside. That's the one key thing.
Yes, it has to be outside. And a lot of the times it's for your mental health. You're getting your steps. It's never like I'm walking to my, like, I have to walk to the train station or something. Like, that's not a hot girl walk.
It is a walk to nowhere.
Yes. Scheana, though, says that a hot girl walk is about like manifestation and you need to say your goals and like.
Okay, well, that trend has not met the Midwest, is all I can say.
It hasn't met the East Coast either because I don't do this. Okay, but Scheana feels like a big sister to Raquel. She was there for Raquel during her ending of her engagement, and now she's, taking Raquel on hot girl walks. So basically she's the reason Raquel's alive.
I think this is really sweet. Like their family dinners, going out for drinks.
Cute. They're cute.
This is what Raquel needs.
Yeah. And then she also needs the information that Scheana tells her that she lives a 3-minute drive away from Schwartz.
I don't understand why we need to mention this.
Right. I would like to count how many times we mentioned Schwartz. That's
I
one.
like that.
Okay. So on Saturday, Brock and Scheana are going to go cheer up Schwartz. That's 2. And they're going to pregame before Sandoval's show. Hey, Raquel, you should come.
Mm-hmm.
And Raquel's like, thank you so much, because like it's different showing up places when you're single, such as Canyon Club. And I get that, but also I don't, because I'll go anywhere by myself. I will
go anywhere by myself, but I understand, like, James and Allie are going to be there. So like you want to walk in with a crew. So this doesn't bother me.
Yes. So Raquel says for her hot girl walk, she wants to lose 10 pounds. And Scheana's like, don't say that, say tighten and tone. Yes. Like, Raquel loses 10 pounds, she's going to disappear.
By 10 pounds, she better mean like she loses her dog Graham, because where the hell does she have 10 pounds?
Where are the 10 pounds? Okay. And then Raquel tells Scheana that James wants to see Graham. She's going to meet up with James in the park tomorrow. And let him play with Graham. And then Scheana goes, oh, so it's not like split custody like Katie and Schwartz. That's 3.
Oh, I'm marking it.
And then goes, speaking of Schwartz, that's here we go. 4. Schwartz did the podcast, and Raquel let Scheana know that Katie isn't happy that he did the podcast. And Scheana says she's not pushing Schwartz and Raquel together, even though that's what Raquel said. And then also Katie said in Vegas that she saw the rumors of Tom and Raquel. And if the rumors were true, then she would embrace it. And then Katie told Scheana to bring it up to Raquel, which that does not sound like.
No.
I understand being like, if they're true, I'm going to embrace it because it's too late. It's too late. True. I'm going to have to fight it. But
and who knows if they had made their pact about don't dabble in the friend group. Like, when did they make that conversation?
Yeah, but Katie's not going to be like, Scheana, bring it up to Raquel. See if she's actually going to hook up with Schwartz.
Even if someone's cool with it, why would you be trying to set your ex-husband up with someone like this early? Maybe in 5 years, Katie could be cool enough to like set this up, but a few months out, never. No one is that cool.
I would be like, I'm pissed about this. Scheana, you know what you should do? Go find out if Raquel actually fucking wants this because I'm going to kill her if she does. That kind of shit. Then like Katie's going to go find out what Raquel wants. But this isn't it.
I don't understand Sheena's thinking here. And that's where I'm having such a problem is like, why does she feel like she needs to be so gung-ho about this?
I don't know.
Like Schwartz is entertaining it. Yes. Like he is also having like adding some commentary and answering some questions, but he isn't pushing hard for it. Raquel isn't pushing hard for it. At least on camera, they're not. So it's weird to me that Scheana is like, let's get this together.
I agree.
While like also saying, nothing. I'm not doing this.
I have nothing. I have no notes. I have no notes. Okay. So let's live. Then the producers are like, let's live through Katie and Sheena's friendship, shall we? We see Katie calling Scheana out because she has a boyfriend, but she's grinding on Peter's ass. That was the night of my boyfriend is sticking up for the whore in there.
So good.
Katie then calls Scheana fake. Scheana says, don't be friends with me if you think I'm fake. And they're not. They're like clearly not fucking friends.
They're not actual friends. They're friends. They're people in the same friend group.
Yeah, but they're
not not friends.
These two don't have a relationship. No. Scheana, though, feels like Katie and Scheana both want to see the worst of each other, so they struggle to find the good. And honestly, that's like a really good way of putting it. Scheana, though, is over apologizing for things she's not sorry for. This is what happens when you get divorced. People move on.
But that's not what happens.
Not in the friend group.
Your friends hooking up or your ex-husband hooking up in your friend group is not what happens after every divorce.
Yeah.
This is not true, Scheana. And you know Scheana would be pissed if like Katie had done this with Shay.
Yeah.
I don't think either trusts the other.
No.
And so like that's the crux of it is they're never going to be friends. They don't trust each other. They can be somewhat like fine in the same friend group as long as they don't actually talk about the other one.
Agreed. Okay, so then Scheana asks.
Oh wait, by the way, that was 7 Schwartz's, or he's referring to Schwartz. I think so. I lost count for after.
I was just doing it's like when he comes up in conversation, you know, like speaking of Schwartz, and then we have a whole conversation.
That was definitely 4.
So Scheana asked what else happened when Raquel talked to Katie, and Raquel's like, hey, Lala has been so mean in the past. And like, I always felt Lala was trying to get a rise out of me. Also, guess what? James and Lala had sex while we were dating and Scheana shook. I believe Scheana had no idea this fucking happened. But Raquel's going to bring it up to James tomorrow. So then we go to Katie and Lala and they're going on their group date. They show up at this Mexican restaurant. Katie's is basically a blind date because Lala knows it's hot guy Ty.
Yep.
Like my Ty. So she's gonna go out with him. And then Lala told Logan, remember Logan?
I love Logan.
Told Logan to find Katie someone. So
how weird though, the guys don't know each other and
do the guys know each other though? They show up together.
I know, but like they probably were waiting outside with production.
I know, but wild. But like, I think they have to at least run in the same circle. Like LA's small. They have to run in this circle. I don't know. So whatever. Lala's going to dip her toe back into the dating pond. Okay. So Ty and Melrose are here and they're both hot.
Yeah.
They're hot. Melrose though I was not expecting Melrose to be at this high.
Me neither. I didn't even look at Ty. Although this was enjoyable to watch, just to
Ty's personality makes him less attractive. Let's talk about it. So Ty's full name means clean and pure. And Lala's like, I saw one of your TikToks and there's nothing clean or pure about that. It was just him humping gym equipment.
I love how he was like, oh, did you stalk me? Like, hell yeah, I did.
I would like to just say that this TikTok makes him not attractive immediately.
I thought it was more funny.
He's a 10, but he makes a TikTok where he humps gym equipment.
Listen, this is all the influencer breeding ground, so I feel like this isn't that weird. That's why I'm
immediately unattracted.
But to us, yes,
I guess. So Lala tells Ty, she doesn't drink, but he should totally get wasted. So then Ty takes a sip of Lala's water without asking, and in COVID times. No, he said, I'm going to take a sip of this. And Lala was like, okay. And I was like, we should ask. And then she says, I have a very clean mouth. I haven't given a blowjob in a really long time. And Melrose goes, well, that's a shame. And Katie's just like, don't look at me for blowjobs. I didn't even give those while I was married.
As a viewer, I was cackling. Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, that's unfortunate. Ty thinks it's hot that Lala doesn't drink. That's fun. Okay, points.
Yeah.
And then they talk about how Katie and Lala are newly single and how Katie was married for 5 years, dated for 12. She was married at 24. And I'm like, why do I think Katie was married at 30? Why is like Katie
because she had 2 weddings.
Well, but I mean, you know what I mean. She's like 30 now.
Yeah.
I just always thought of her as like older when she got married. 24 is young.
Well, they started this show when they were babies.
I know 24 is just young. I don't know. For me anyway, in my eyes, my parents got married at 24. And I just was always like, when I was 24, thinking about it, like, oof, how could I be a wife?
I couldn't.
Because I'm a mess. Okay, so they're talking about Finding Nemo versus Finding Dory because Lala has a kid, so she just watched Finding Nemo. Ty, the serial killer now, thinks that Finding Dory is better and also has not seen The Lion King.
Insane. I like that the whole group gangs up on him like, you're an idiot. Obviously, Finding Nemo's better.
Yes. So then the girls go to the bathroom together. Well, Lala does that thing where she's like, I'm going to the bathroom. Katie, do you want to come with?
You don't have to, but do you want to come?
Well, Katie did that thing where she's like, and then Lala's like, don't feel necessary. And like, Katie's like, I guess it's like a thing. It's like a social norm, I guess. So,
well, if somebody said it like that to me, I'd be like, well, obviously I have to go to the bathroom now. Okay, like, we got to chit chat.
Fine. So Lala is not feeling it. She wants to abort the mission.
I overall love this like dating vibe of them, but this date is terrible.
I thought Katie and Melrose maybe were like maybe sexual tension, but that didn't seem like a bad date.
Melrose also, Lala had dropped that she was sober and he was like, oh, you're not drinking?
Yeah, but like she's not on a date with him.
I know, but that shows like he's not paying attention to anything that's happening in this conversation.
I don't know. I think that I was like, whatever. I think Katie and Melrose could have been friends. Anyway.
We don't need friends.
Neither one of them are into the boys. Lala also feels like it's weird with a kid and everything. And I'm like, welcome to first dates. First dates are always weird. Like you really can't fight it. Good luck.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lala's not in a place for a relationship right now, but she's down for sex. So the girls come back and Lala goes, what are you guys talking about? She's just like too much on a first date. In my expert opinion, as a first date queen, you gotta be kind of not subtle, but like
but Lala's not subtle, so she's gotta be herself fully, especially because she doesn't have time to waste. She's a mom.
It's just so intense for me on a first date. I'd be like,
what's interesting is she was so intense when they hung out at James's thing, and she was like the good amount of tense, like she was her personality intense.
Yes,
that I was kind of shocked she was still so direct,
like a nervous tense.
Yeah,
like Lala enters back, she doesn't know what to say, so she's like, "What are you talking about, boys?" And I was like, "Oh, not it." She could have like, even if she toned the voice down a little and just been like, "You guys talking about us?" You know, like a casual,
her subtle, like confrontational.
Yeah, it was weird. It just was not it. And the girls are like, thanks for coming. You're dismissed. And Melrose is like, you guys drinking tonight? You want to go out? And Lala's like, I can't.
No.
So then we go to the park with James and Raquel. This was my favorite. I'm obsessed with James. So Graham is super happy to see James. And James is so happy to see Graham.
Best friends. Like, if I hadn't seen you for a year, this is the exact same way.
He's so funny it wasn't even funny. He's just so funny. So then Raquel and James move to the shade. They sit on a bench, and Raquel's like, yo, I got something to ask you. And James is immediately like, oh, what? Like, it's so funny. And Raquel's like, Lala said you guys had sex while we were together. And James is like, yeah, bad decision, but like we were drunk and whatever. She coerced me. She wouldn't let me leave the room, whatever. Which I was like, no, no, get out.
He does his James things. He's a pretty honest person. If you're like direct with him, he will just be like,
Sure.
fucked her.
Yeah, I did. And Raquel's like, that is so rude because I've been like so loyal and now our whole relationship's a lie. And he's like, well, now you're dating Peter. So like, why do you even care? I can't believe you're dating Peter. Like, you shouldn't even care. He is so bothered about Peter.
I am so happy he's so bothered. He deserves to be
funny.
bothered.
But like, it's funny. Yes. And Raquel's like trying not to laugh. Like, why are we talking about Peter?
She handled this so well.
Yeah. And like then James is like, sorry that Lala is parading around sleeping with me like a trophy, like a prize. And she's like, what?
He's like, go take it up with her. Like, she's the problem. Like, she got this prize.
Raquel's just like, our relationship was based off lies. I felt insecure for years around Lala, and you told me there was nothing. To worry about. I never even thought about that. And we get that scene where he is like, we're just close. That breaks my heart.
Like, she sensed it, and she is flashing through all these moments where she just knew something was off.
Yeah.
And
truly my heart is broken for Raquel because he basically gaslit her. Like, stop thinking there's something between me and Lala.
There's nothing. It's just friends.
There was.
Yeah.
And so then James is like, I feel like I'm getting interrogated. We're done. Why are we discussing this? We're over.
Go kiss Peter.
And he goes, I'm truly happy with Allie. So like, good thing we didn't get married. And Raquel's like, yeah, honestly. But she's like trying not to laugh because he's so insane.
He is insane. But this on top of like the conversation with Lisa earlier, Lisa and Raquel, like, I bet she is just racking her brain of the last 5 years of just like, what was my life? Like, nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
How do I trust someone? How do I believe someone?
Sad.
I feel for her.
I know. So then we go to Katie's apartment. She's listening to Scheana's podcast. And then right as the podcast ends, Lala calls her. Lala's sick. She's not going to go out tonight. And she also hasn't listened to the podcast, but Katie's really pissed. And she's like, Scheana's not a real friend. A friend wouldn't coerce information out of this when he's vulnerable. And I was like, he's not vulnerable.
Some of the questions, listen, I get it. Like, if you think Scheana should be on your like a better friend to you, which she's not, she's closer with Tom. But if you think, Katie, that Scheana needs to be a better friend to you, I understand why you're mad that she's asking the questions, but she is not like, he's not a battered wife anymore.
Tom Schwartz being questioned by Scheana and however he answered is not Sheena's fault.
Yeah.
Like, again, I know I'm in defense of Scheana. I'm sorry for everyone who hates Scheana, but Sheena's an interviewer, right? In this scenario, she's interviewing Tom Schwartz. If he's uncomfortable with the question, he should say, Scheana, I'm uncomfortable with that question. And she can cut it or be like, I'm not going to answer that.
Shouldn't I have answered that like that? Can you cut that post? Can you cut that question out? Cut that answer.
I'm not comfortable with that. And then she can do whatever with that. The fact that Katie's like, Scheana took advantage of a vulnerable man.
I hate that narrative that he's in distress and needs help. He's a fucking grown adult.
No. They're also pissed that Scheana invited Raquel to the pregame tonight. Okay, legitimate reason to be pissed. Yes, the podcast.
Especially, I wasn't so upset because Scheana gave like a good quote unquote reason why like Raquel needed to be there, whatever.
Yeah.
Until the next scene was I actually pissed about this.
Great. So they call Scheana evil and a shitty friend and hope her world burns so they can smile. You're rough. That's a rough thing to say.
They are so good at fighting with Scheana. Sometimes I'm like, Scheana doesn't even have a chance.
She doesn't though. Like, it's rough.
We get this like basically the same cycle every like 2 years of like Katie and Scheana. Hates Scheana. Yeah, everybody just like somebody has like a semi-legitimate reason to be mad at Scheana and they just bury her.
Yeah. It's her to watch. Justice.
Oh god.
Okay. Then we go to Tom and Ariana's house. Sandoval has a custom suit for tonight. He's excited for the show. He's going to do an outfit change and he's ripped. When did this happen? Has he always been ripped?
Not like this, but I noticed that
This is
on
like hot
photos,
old dude, not old dude, but hot older man ripped.
Yes. Like Jax could never.
Like 40-year-old ripped hot. I'm into it.
I noticed on Instagram in pictures from his show, because he'll be in those little sparkly pants and shirtless.
He's hot. All right. I'm in.
Wow.
So Ariana and Katie are going to ride over to the show together. They know Scheana's pre-gaming at Schwartz, and Ariana was like, "Oh, you're having a pre-game? Should I come?" And Scheana was like, "It's just gonna be the four of us." And Ariana's like, "It looks like a double date. Like, what are you doing? Invite me to like."
This is the problem. That right there is like Scheana is forcing it to just be the foursome. That is where I really have
Ariana
a problem.
come, right? Because it would have looked. And in the time, Katie would have gone with Lala because Lala just backed out today.
Yeah.
Ariana could have gone to this pregame and it could have been 5.
It could have been just the same. Scheana doesn't know how to do things subtly.
Yes.
Like she could subtly like push these two together and not have any blood on her hands. No, but instead she's like, no, I need to make it known that like I am having a double date with these two.
It's plus like if Ariana was there, Katie would probably feel so much better because her and Ariana are friends and Ariana's not going to let anything happen.
But Ariana would also stick up for Scheana and be like, no, that's not what's happening.
Yes.
Like, listen to me.
This could have helped it from all angles, from all of the angles.
I agree.
Okay, so then we go to Tom Schwartz's apartment. Scheana, Brock, and Raquel are all here at the same time. The apartment looks better than what it was for sure. Yeah. And then Raquel is like, "Oh my God, I'll help you get your apartment together, Tom Schwartz." And
oh my God.
Girl, you were at the dinner where Katie said, "Don't do it."
This is getting messier and messier every minute.
But the real true villain, Tom Schwartz, is like, "Yeah, I think Raquel's really cute and hot and great." But Katie and I said, no hooking up with the friend group.
Like so he knows.
There's only one person who's gonna be at fault if he hooks up with someone in the friend group.
But the problem is we don't blame men, we blame the women.
We don't blame men. Why not? Why don't we do this? Anyway, they talk about how Katie's pissed about the podcast, but Schwartz here is like, "I thought it'd be fun and innocent." You just are going through a divorce. You know that's going to be talked about. You know going into it.
You've already talked to Katie and you know that Katie's upset about this all idea. And then you continue to be like, "Oh yeah, let's do a double date. Come on over."
Tom Schwartz is master manipulator.
No, period. He's master idiot. He's not setting this up.
His manipulation His manipulation, though, is to act like so innocent,
yes,
like no one
on the back end.
Me.
But he's not setting it up. He's the back end manipulator. Yeah,
he's
right.
Like me. I take no responsibility.
What? Me?
Okay, so Scheana tells Schwartz what Katie said about embracing like the rumor if it's true, and then says Katie also said, "I'm getting laid, so Schwartz should get laid." And Schwartz is like, "Katie's getting laid?" Because he didn't know, because divorced couples do not talk about this together.
Yes.
Why would he know? Who would tell him? Who's dumb enough to tell him besides Scheana? Who would do that?
Even Brock goes, "Scheana."
Yep. Like, even your husband is like, what? Well, not husband yet, but even your fiance is like, "What the actual fuck are you doing?"
Come on. Scheana like doesn't know how to give herself plausible deniability with things.
Scheana, what are you doing? I'm not going to say the D or the S word, but
yeah.
Okay. And then Scheana goes on. She's like, her junior high friend. And Schwartz is like, "I cannot believe that. That guy?" So Schwartz knows the guy, which is even worse.
He knows the story. He didn't know they slept together because Katie's giving him enough details to be like, "I'm moving on," without having to throw it in his face. But Sheena's like, "I'm here to make it messy."
It's not even like an unfaced figure. It's like Schwartz knows who this is. He's like immediately sad. And then Sheena's like, "Yeah, and Katie just went on a double date." And I'm like, "Shut up."
Sheena's like pretending to build her case of why Schwartz needs to hook up with Raquel. And that's where I'm like, "Scheana, you're messy." You're messy.
But in this too, she's hurting Schwartz's feelings. He does not want or need to know this.
No.
He doesn't need to know details. You can just say Katie's moving on. You should too.
She knows this will get Schwartz to do it.
But that's so rude.
I know.
Scheana,
that's where she does hold some blame here. Schwartz isn't getting any.
This is where.
But this is it. This whole scene, I'm like, Scheana, you fucking.
The podcast is not it. It's pushing Raquel and Schwartz together.
It's the active
blatantly.
Like stuff. Yes.
The podcast I can forgive. It's this. So Scheana says she doesn't know how to handle the situation with Katie. And my answer to that is shut up and stop talking. That's my answer.
Shut the fuck up.
And anyway, she's sorry it hurt Katie's feelings, but she's not sorry for doing things with her heart when people think she's malicious. And I want to say, I don't think Scheana is malicious. I think she's the D and the S word.
I think she's a straight up D and the S word.
I think she's just so goddamn fucking dumb.
You think she's dumb or like she's not? I think she's not thinking about Katie at all.
She's not thinking about any consequences. She's like, this would be, you know how like a dog only sees what's like in front of it.
Yeah.
And like won't pay it like that. Like she's running into the same glass door over and over again because 100%. She has her eyes on what's on the other side of that glass door.
Sometimes I do think though, like I'm trying to question like, oh, does she think she's being sneaky? Like, does she think she's good at this? And she's not.
No, I don't think she thinks she's being sneaky. I think she thinks like, I'm just being funny.
She has blinders on and is like, this would be really great. In a vacuum, this would be really great.
I do also think like, right, like she's better friends with Schwartz. We know 100%. That. So she's like, this would be really good for my friend Schwartz. And in her mind, Katie's moving on, right? So like my friend Schwartz needs to move on. I don't think she's like, I'm doing this to hurt Katie and I want to ruin her life.
Like Katie doesn't want this and I don't care that she doesn't want this.
She's not like, Katie could be hurt by the specifics of my plan. Why don't I find a person outside the friend group? Like she's just not fully thinking it through.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on board with what you're thinking.
No notes. So Schwartz tells Raquel, because Schwartz like gets dressed, then he comes back over and he's like, Raquel, we should talk to Katie about this thing tonight. But like, you know, we like maybe like shouldn't flirt in front of her, but like I like when we flirt. I love when we flirt and I love when we
He's like, let's be innocent.
We don't have to stop that.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah, we'll just stop the rumor, but we'll still like flirt and stuff. And I'm like, no, fuck you, man. This dude, this dude.
He's trying to do what James did to Raquel.
Fuck this dude.
You're trying to tell Katie nothing's happening while things are happening.
Fuck this dude. Stop gaslighting. Fuck this dude.
Katie's smarter than that, you little DNS.
Fuck this dude. So he hugs Raquel, and Raquel's like, I know it's innocent, and Katie's overreacting. And I go, fuck this girl too.
We have
fuck this whole thing.
Idiots.
Fuck everyone in this room besides Brock somehow.
Weirdly, Brock is the best person in the room.
Someone give me the math equation.
Really enjoying that Brock is just like a major side character.
This math is not mathing though. How do I like Brock the best?
Like Logan gets more name mentions in the episodes than Brock does.
Brock did have a line of Scheana,
which epic, great. Epic. That's how we like it.
Thank you. Shout out. Okay, so Sheena's like, stop living your life for Katie and start living your life for yourself. And maybe Schwartz should go to therapy first and like work on himself.
Or like get on Hinge.
Living for yourself does not mean hooking up with someone.
That is also
Schwartz
true.
Just needs to become like he needs to work on himself, truly. So they're saying it's a double standard that Katie can move on, but Schwartz can't, and that's not it. That's not it.
You're missing the whole point.
So close, but we keep missing the exit.
Katie is on board for Schwartz to move on.
Just not with someone in the friend group, right? So we're on the road.
There's one asterisk for both parties. Like Katie doesn't want to hook up with someone in the friend group either.
We're right there. We just keep passing. Okay, so we go to Canyon Club for the show, right?
What could go wrong?
Allie and James are here. They meet up with Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. Mm-hmm. Tom Sandoval is doing a saline moisture thing for his throat. Ariana and Katie are here. Katie's ready to throw hands with Scheana. She shows up fired to beat some ass.
I was like, who's getting a drink poured on their head tonight?
Wild. So then the double date shows up with our dude Brock, our main guy now, Brock.
God.
Double date shows up. We say hi to Matt, the shitty bartender who somehow made this list.
I was like, what is Daisy and Matt doing here?
Why? Okay, so then Schwartz says hey to Katie, calls her bub. I hate it every time.
This pissed me off even more because I'm like, you're being a shitty person to her and you're calling her bub. Get out of here.
And then Scheana goes to say hi to everyone, and Katie, not so secretively, puts her back to any direction Scheana is.
Scheana. Oh.
As Scheana moves, Katie moves her back. And Scheana even like goes over and is like, hi. And Katie literally gives like not even a half smile. It's like a look and then looks away.
Well, so here's the thing. Scheana, you know she's pissed at you. Why are you trying to be all friendly? Come on. Don't play that game.
A TV show, so you have to confront her. But we know.
But when she's giving you the back, just be like, you know what? Whatever. We know. Not my problem.
Make a face behind her back. That's good TV. Do that. Okay, so Scheana then asks Ariana, like, what's the deal? And Ariana's like, hey, girl, it looked like a double date. Okay?
Yeah.
And Sheena's like, I didn't want Raquel to go alone.
Stop with that fucking excuse.
Ariana's like, I get that. I get that. But also, I couldn't go. So you see how the double date kind of set itself up. Do you get the math? Ariana's doing math that equals
she's saying,
out.
Look at this picture. Can you see it?
And you see the 2 + 2 equaling 4, which equals a double date.
I understand why Katie's pissed. And here's the exact reason. Equation Y.
Yeah, if you added one more, 2 + 2 + 1 is not double date. Do you see that? Do you get it? Are we good? Okay. So Scheana then goes to Katie and says she invited Raquel so Raquel wouldn't have to come alone. And Katie goes, oh, to make out with Schwartz? I heard your plans. And I was like, Katie's going hard. Here's the thing about going in too hard though. Sometimes you get off topic, which I was like, Katie, I don't want that to happen to you.
Yes.
Focus, girl. Focus. Don't seem like the jealous ex. You got to focus here. Okay.
Yes. You got to focus on Scheana being a bad friend to you.
She's the target. Yes.
Yeah.
So with the makeout, I heard about your plan. Immediately, I'm like, you look jealous. Tone it. Come on, Katie. So Scheana brings up Katie saying that thing in Vegas about embracing it. And Katie's like, I don't care. I don't care what I said. I don't care because I didn't mean it. And I'm like, well,
that
Scheana's
bad
DNS.
Look.
Scheana's DNS. You can't say shit you don't mean.
Yes. But Katie does correct that she didn't sleep with the guy.
Later.
What? Later she says that?
Later she corrects.
Okay.
But at this time, Sheena's just like, you said if Schwartz and Raquel
you would made
out, you'd embrace it. And Katie's doing like, I don't care. I didn't mean it.
Scheana is DNS. But I also hate that like we hold people to like them being the cool girl in breakups. Yes. Like people can change their goddamn minds.
Yes. Also, it is just like common courtesy where Katie's saying if it happened, I would try to embrace it.
Yes.
And Sheena's not supposed to go make it happen.
No.
It's a hypothetical if.
No. You know
it's
what?
If.
We made a pact about like that show Manifest that nobody, you don't get to move on with my boyfriend. There's a forever pact that you are not setting up my ex with our friends. You can set him up. I mean, I still would kind of be pissed. You can set him up with outside of our group, but you can never set up no matter what I say.
If I die, Meredith should not be trying to find my ex another girlfriend.
Rule number 1.
If he finds another girlfriend, fine.
That's fine.
But my friends better hope he ends up alone. Kind of period.
It'll never be, you will never cross this line if I'm dead or alive.
And I get the Scheana Katie thing is difficult. The relationship itself is difficult. But Scheana, just don't get involved. This is a messy divorce. It's been 5 months.
Katie's right. Get the fuck out of my divorce.
Just stopping in the divorce. Okay, so Katie tells Scheana it's disrespectful what she's been up to and tells her she should stop her podcast, which I was like, good try. It's not going to happen, but good try. Katie's heard that Schwartz talked about the most painful day of their lives, that's where I'm like, Schwartz should have said no to the podcast then. Because he knows what's going to be asked on this podcast.
Here's the thing. I do think that's kind of hypocritical of Katie, because like Katie's done podcasts about the divorce on her own podcast.
True.
Like Katie needs to get off that one.
That one, I don't blame Scheana for the podcast. It's the Raquel thing. So then Scheana is like, Schwartz didn't have to answer the questions, which that's a valid point. And Katie says, there's no room for you in this, Scheana. And I'm like, yeah, but the pod in the divorce, yes. In the podcast, no, she can do whatever.
In discussing how they need to move on, no, Scheana doesn't get an opinion.
But she can ask Schwartz how he's moving on.
Well, yeah, trying to set him up with someone outside of the group. Yes. Help him move on.
Sure. Get him on a dating app.
Do it the right way.
He has not been single since Tinder became a thing. Okay, get him on Tinder. So then Raquel's like stepping in, like, hey, we actually didn't make out. So like it's not a big deal.
I'm like, Raquel, shut the fuck up, because you said not yet at dinner the other night, so we don't care.
Wild. And Scheana's like, I'm sorry for pushing it, but I'm done. And so Scheana's like, I'm backing out, right? I'm retreating, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And Katie's like, stop. And Scheana's like, it's done. And Katie's like, stop. And I'm like, we're done. Just so why don't you walk away? One of you just walk. And Katie's calling Scheana a little troll. You're a little troll, Scheana.
I love that Scheana doesn't have a comeback in the actual moment, but in her interview chair, she finally has a comeback and basically tells Katie to go back under the bridge.
But Sheena's right. Like, Katie's not mad at Scheana. Katie is projecting her anger about Schwartz answering these questions and talking about her and maybe flirting with Raquel onto Scheana.
I think towards Scheana, it's more the fear of the future of what could happen, and she is angry at Schwartz.
Yeah, but she's trying to be cool girl, so she doesn't want to get mad at Schwartz.
She doesn't trust. Katie does not trust Scheana with her feelings to be able to actually express this, that like, I don't want him being with someone in our group that's too close to home.
Yes. But I think also, right, like, okay, just hypothetically, Ariana and Tom break up and they come up with the same pact.
Yeah.
I truly think they would, ideally, if the breakup went well, like this Tom and Katie thing, I think they would themselves have enough respect to not hook up in the friend group, even if someone's pushing it, right?
Yes.
I don't think Katie trusts Tom to not do that.
I agree
whether
with that.
It's being pushed. So
especially
being like
making out with someone, because Schwartz has self-claimed as a make-out whore. And so when he gets drunk, she couldn't even trust that he wouldn't make out with someone when they were together. So how is he going to keep his tongue in his mouth when they're not together?
I think Katie's scared that Scheana is then presenting almost this. I think one of them say it is like dangling the carrot in front of Schwartz's face, right? I think Katie, that is what scares Katie, but she can't be mad. She doesn't want to be mad at Schwartz because she does still love him, I'm sure, right? Yes. That was like a long relationship. So she's
that's an important
Scheana,
friendship to her.
Fucking like,
she's trying to maintain her Schwartz friendship. Both Katie and Schwartz are trying to maintain their friendship, but it's on rocky ground. You can't
be this good of friends with your ex.
No.
Let me be clear. You could be friendly. You should not be besties.
I think they could over time build a better friendship, but this early on,
you have to rebuild the friendship without being in love.
Yes.
Which is hard if you're still in love with each other.
I also kind of think it's super shitty of Raquel doing this because she's in a similar boat.
She knows.
And it's really hard for her to watch James with an outsider. So can you imagine if James and Lala were dating right now?
James and Katie, baby. But it's the same. It's why it's just like, come on. And again, she can't trust James to not hook up while even dating her. Or no.
Oh,
Raquel's the same.
Yeah.
She can't trust James to like not hook up with someone even while dating her, let alone when they break up.
How are Raquel and Katie not more aligned?
I can't. I don't know. I can't. I'm over it. Can we move on? I can't. Okay, so James checks on Katie, which I love. I love this friendship. Immediately, I'm like, thank God for this argument, so we get the scene, this friendship. And Katie's like, I'm fine. I'm just mad that Scheana's trying to hook up Schwartz and Raquel. And James is like, finally, someone who fucking gets how stupid this is. And I'm like, my dude, dude.
Katie
Boom,
needs
boom, boom.
James. Thank you, James, for being on the same page as her.
Because Scheana had Raquel on the podcast too.
Okay, 2 weeks after their breakup.
But James is already dating Allie.
I understand, but I'm just saying, Scheana swooped up Raquel way quicker, and I was like, that was a shittier on the podcast.
They're friends.
I know.
They're friends.
But then you can't claim to be a good friend to James. Like, just own being a shitty friend.
I don't think Sheena's claiming that.
Okay, I'm all right with that. But she claims that she is not, like, Scheana claims she's not picking sides in the Schwartz and Katie, like, saga thing. But I'm like, just own picking a side. Just own it.
Just pick a side. Yeah. I'm not mad. Because listen, if my friend gets divorced and I have a podcast with millions of viewers, you come say your story. I don't give a fuck. Come say your story. But I'm picking a side.
Yes. Like, I can be nice to the other person, but like, I will have an allegiance to one person over the other.
I don't care if you're mad or something. Like, I'm gonna do my thing.
Fucking own it, Scheana. That's all I really need from her at the end of the day.
Period. Yeah. Okay. So they feel like Scheana strikes when everything is fresh, and James even told Brock to keep his name out of their mouths.
Why is this Brock's fault?
I don't know, because Brock says, "Why don't you come on the podcast too, man?"
Brock's like, "Listen, we need some money, so could you actually do an episode too?"
You know what? They're both hustlers.
We're trying to get Homebody to launch, so like, can you come do a podcast?
Listen, as someone who's not involved, right? This is not happening to us. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, James, you go on the podcast too. You shit on Raquel. It's kind of even, right? Like, Sheena's an equal opportunity employee.
I actually appreciate her then being like, yeah, why don't you go?
Come on. I love that's Brock. I love that Brock's like, come on the podcast, mate. Come on over. Okay, so Ariana understands how Katie feels, but on multiple occasions, Tom Schwartz is in the middle of everything, but he's the nice guy, and he leaves Scheana to hold the mess. And no one's ever mad at Schwartz for anything.
Ariana is telling Scheana this. She's saying, like, your friend is actually the one leaving you in a bad spot.
She's trying, but this is her interview where she's like, how come no one's mad at Schwartz ever?
Well, we are 10 seasons into that.
I'm livid at this man constantly. How is no one else?
I've never been mad at him until this season. Like, I'm part of the problem.
I was mad at him last season. I remember being so mad.
Oh, I was mad at him last season too. You're right. But like, early days of Vanderpump, I let him skate by every time.
I think I did too. I'm the problem. But like, thank God for Ariana, who's finally like, don't you guys see what he does?
Wake up, people. Wake up.
Aren't we there yet? He probably pulls this shit with Sandoval too. And she's like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. So Katie tells Tom, right? She goes up to Schwartz and she goes, I hate that bitch. Sheena's a bitch. And I'm like, cool girl just went right out the window. Cool girl does not exist anymore.
Katie is like on one.
Katie says that she did see someone from high school and she does want Tom to move on. And Tom's like, oh, so you did fuck that guy. And Katie's like, I made out. I only made out. Who said fuck? I only made out. And I was like, shh, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Even if you did, it's okay.
She's pissed. And then she goes, nice friend you got there. And Tom looks like an abused dog in a corner. He is cowering in fear of Katie. And then he says, I don't like it when you undermine my friendship. And Scheana is my friend, which I was like, ooh, because now
he's finally taking a stand for someone, though.
Taking a stand. It's not Katie, because he usually does take a stand against Katie, but now it's okay because Katie's not his wife. So like, this is the first time I'm like, good.
Then don't try to maintain the friendship.
Yeah, but this is the first time I'm like, good for you taking a side, opposed to being like, why don't you pick your wife, man?
It's actually so funny that the first time he takes a real concrete side,
Scheana.
It's for Scheana. Actually, this is giving me flashbacks to the tequila, or like my boyfriend is sticking up for that whore.
Or in there, yeah, they're friends. Yeah. Okay, so great. Schwartz then says Scheana sees the behavior that Katie's giving and feels like it's a double standard, which I was like, Schwartz, you said it was a double standard. Don't say Scheana thinks it's a double standard.
It's not a double standard for Katie to find someone random or outside of Schwartz's life.
We like can't unpack it anymore. So Katie says Scheana is inserting herself in between them and breaking them apart. And Tom's like, she's not, but Katie walks away. So that's the end of that. So then James goes up and says hi to Raquel and to Scheana. And he's still really happy about seeing Graham. And Raquel's like, I actually still have a lot of feelings about finding out that you cheated on me and how like you didn't really give me any closure. And she also says she felt like James was deflecting. And James is like, that's the past, Raquel. We don't go that way. We only go to the future, girl. And I'm like, this dude's not real. He's not real.
No.
There's no way.
No.
James cannot understand how Raquel was cool with him, before. They were cool exes. But now she finds out some new information and now she's like not cool with him again.
Impossible. How does that ever happen?
I can't even unpack why it's wrong because like, of course it is.
Well, he's being a little DNS right now.
No, because I'm sure in his heart of hearts, he knows why this is wrong. He will never say it. He's just like,
well, yeah, to him, he's like, how could you ever be mad at me?
I'm the
that
way
was
Kanye.
So long ago.
I'm the way Kanye West. So, he's like, sorry that men make mistakes too, Raquel. And I was like, what? So then Scheana's like rolling her eyes. And James is like, oh, what do you have a problem with? And Raquel tries walking away with Scheana. And James is like, no, I was talking. Everyone come back and listen to me. And so James says, Raquel is in this sacred, Raquel is in a sacred place for him and Allie.
Oh, yes.
Because this
so
is where
can you
met.
Not ruin this?
Yeah, so stop ruining this. And
stop like, your tantrum because we are on holy ground.
Scheana steps up and is like, come on, dude, really?
You had to say that to her?
Exactly what I would say. Yes. I would exactly be like, come on. And James is like, oh, this is like how come I can't say whatever I want, but you can try and push Raquel and Schwartz together. And then everyone kind of starts laughing because it's so stupid. And then he calls Scheana Miss Pumpkin Pie, sweet on the outside, but goes bad quickly, which sent me to the moon. And then
he covered up with whipped cream.
Covered up with whipped cream. And then he goes to Allie, and Allie's like, can we stop this? Like, you need to handle your shit. I am drained. Like,
Thank you, Allie.
Ridiculous.
Thank you.
He tries to stop her, but she walks away. She's like, no. And then he downs like a shot. And I'm like, oh, this can
gave
only
me
get
hope
worse.
For Allie. And an epic quote from James. Well, pumpkin pie.
Miss Pumpkin Pie. And then we have a to be continued. So we don't get next episode.
Which I'm like, what the hell else happens with this little fight?
I don't know, but James looks like he's drinking, so I'm pumped.
Sometimes I think Bravo just loves a to be continued when it's just unnecessary.
I do too. Okay, let's do accepted and blocked, and then I will read podcast by the people.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Can we block first, and can you go first?
I'm blocking Schwartz.
Yeah, I knew you would, and for that reason, I'm going to be blocking somebody else.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to go into it. I think I beat this I think we beat the Scheana Katie Schwartz thing with like
it's glue.
We have it. So you know why I'm blocking Schwartz.
I'm blocking Scheana. Yeah, I thought about this and I thought we would both go down this path, so I thought I could get Scheana.
That's fine. We nailed this. Let's do accepted. Who do we like?
Ooh, I have to give it to James. I mean,
it's so funny. It's so funny.
Epic.
The Graham thing when he started sobbing, I was like, what is happening?
And then the hug when he saw him at the park.
So
and
cute.
Then the DNS quote, that will live in infamy for me forever now.
I know he's not good. He's not like a good person.
I want to see.
But it's so good for reality. It's so good.
Ever take this man from me.
And it's not like you know how some reality stars are really good because you hate it, you love to hate him.
Yes.
I don't love to hate. I just love him.
I cry laughing.
So good. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Can we prove he has organs and he's a living, breathing man and not an epic robot?
I don't know. No, I can't.
I need like an X-ray like they did to Kim Kardashian's butt. Like, is he real?
I don't know. I'm going to give it to Ariana solely because she's the only one that sees past the bullshit.
She sees reality.
And I think she's being underutilized, truly.
And the thing is, she sees it like, and even calls out Scheana on her part of it. Like, that's what I love is she's telling them like, look, guys, here are all the problems in this.
I think she's fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna read podcasts by the people.
Yes.
Tracy says I'm dead. Scheana explaining what a hot girl walk to Raquel is hilarious. This is an old trend. Yep,
well,
we know.
This was also filmed in the summer, so I like this show is behind, but Scheana was still behind. Sheena's a millennial, so
Scheana sounds like my mom.
Yeah,
is what Tracy says for sure, and then says Raquel looks shocked that she just explained that to her. I'm sure Raquel knows what a hot girl walk is. I'm sure she's just like, I'll let Scheana have this moment. Okay, Tiffany said Scheana is a pot stir, and Katie made it clear to Raquel over dinner that she wouldn't be okay with it, even when Raquel said we won't be a couple, alluding to the fact that they may hook up, but that's it. No relationship. Katie told her to her face she would be hurt, so Raquel is aware. It was pretty crappy of Raquel to continue. I agree. Raquel knows, and she's sitting there like Katie's overreacting. It's no biggie. And Schwartz knows.
Yes.
Both of them in recent time. I don't know how far away Vegas was when Scheana was whatever, confused. But Raquel and Schwartz know.
In the filming of the season, it's a no. I see why Katie has zero relationship with Raquel right now in present time.
Agreed. This was ridiculous. Okay, Sarah said, perhaps you ladies are recording or have already recorded, but I finally watched. I agree with Tiffany. Scheana knows what she's doing by dropping little things about Katie here and there. Have you seen the receipts Katie's posts on Instagram? Sheena's worried about not having a job.
That's the thing is I go back and forth like, does Scheana really know what she's doing and she's just doing it so terribly? Like, is she being manipulative but not doing a good job at covering her tracks?
Like maybe, right? Maybe Sheena's worried about not having a job. But truthfully, without it, we wouldn't have gotten like a really funny pumpkin pie moment and like Katie yelling at Scheana. It was entertaining, and I get it, but I don't think Sheena's worth the Vanderpump Rules, but we got to keep her around as a friend of.
Absolutely.
And I do think she's worried about not having a job. She's a hustler. She always wants to have a job.
Even for the podcast, like her podcast version of job, like making money. She's
not good at being a hustler, but she's a hustler.
Has no shame.
No. Also, Sarah says, James saying, I'm not going to say the D or the S word, but I'm going to say you're not thinking things through is my favorite. Amazing.
He had such a mature moment. And then, of course, the producer is like, give it to us. And he's like, say less. I'm
dumb and stupid, baby.
As if they were cuss words.
So then Casey says, okay, not trying to copy what Lala said on Watch What Happens Live, but everything about Sandoval annoys me. His hair, his mustache, his Botox, his stupid outfits, his random ass band, even his rock hard body. Like, guys, just gets on my nerves. I just don't understand why he started the band while opening the bar. I'd be pissed if I was that other partner / investor. And also, I'm rewatching the episode. Everything about Schwartz annoys me. LOL. His gross apartment, his gym shorts, his t-shirt. He's filming a TV show. His bucket hat from the last episode and being super insecure about it. So many things to do with that bar, and he walks in with a spray bottle to water his plants. Listen, okay. I think Sandoval's good for the show. I think
and I can see how he's not everybody's cup of tea.
I get it. I think at his core, he's a good person.
He's from St. Louis, so obviously.
I think he is a good person. I get he's not everyone's cup of tea, and I totally understand that. I love him personally, but I see why you would hate him.
Yes.
Tom Schwartz, though, yeah, this man can fall off a cliff.
You know what's terrible is I grew up with so many incompetent little white boys that like this is all I'm used to. So it is just normal.
I hate Schwartz too. I hate him too. Okay, Lala dropping these bombs on Raquel is just plain mean. I think Lala thought Raquel wouldn't care anymore since they broke up. And then James deflecting it all. I feel bad for her because they're both like, why do you care, Raquel? Now she's probably starting to realize all the rumors were true too. And this man she seriously loved was going to, that she was going to marry was a huge liar and cheater. Yeah, man, it's not
Yes.
looking good for Raquel.
I bet she starts spiraling soon.
I agree.
I would. I like, and rightfully so, she deserves to.
Yes. Yes, this is a horrible thing to find out.
Time does not
Horrible.
make the time since they've broken up does not make Raquel's heart whole. No. And then this is despite the like hookup happening, the James and Lala one doesn't make it any easier to swallow for her.
Yeah. Okay, but also Raquel, her kind of entertaining this things with Schwartz in front of Katie is dumb. Shame on Schwartz, or same for Schwartz on the podcast. And Scheana's just being Scheana, starting drama for her podcast and the show. Yes. She knows what people want, and I'd be pissed if I were Katie too. But agree that Scheana looks great. Hey man, as long as she looks good doing it.
You know what? If you're gonna give me drama, do it looking fabulous.
All right, those are our podcast notes from the people. Thanks for listening. Do all the things: the Instagram, the Patreon, the leave rating, reviews,
subscribe.
Summer house is round the corner. I think that's it. But yes.
Until next time. Thanks, guys.